Welcome to a special monthly edition of Spirit Journey Collective, where we step away from interviews and dive deep into the collective energies of the upcoming month. For those who do not know, I am an intuitive tarot reader and spiritual channel. This episode will be focused on exploring the energies of the month ahead, such as themes, both good and challenging areas to be mindful of, as well as a channeled higher self message overall. As this is a collective reading, it is important to always remember to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. It is my belief that if you are tuning in today, it is because there is some form of guidance and wisdom waiting for you. But it doesn't mean the entire reading will resonate, although it may. My name is Sarah Tye, and I am your host, reader, and channeler for the upcoming reading ahead. And without further ado, let's dive in.
Hello and welcome. I know it's been a minute since I've had a new podcast episode out, and this is the first in a little while. I'm probably not going to be jumping right into doing my interviews and my spotlight series just yet. So I'll just be starting with doing my monthly intuitive readings, and this is for the collective. So as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And just a small update. I know that some of you kind of already have been following based on my previous episodes. I am pregnant still and about 27 weeks. So it's, I'm not trying to put too much on my plate just yet, but the intuitive monthly readings, I am being called to start doing those again. And it's kind of cool being December because it's the last month of the year. And so we're like gearing up for 2026. We're winding down for 2025. And I just felt called to start doing these monthly readings again. So this is a collective reading, as I stated. So always take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Sometimes the whole thing will resonate perfectly for you, sometimes only pieces, because again, this is for everyone. So likely if you're tuning in right now, there is something here for you. I fully believe that. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and thank you for tuning in. So I'm going to be doing the same spread that I did with my previous monthly readings, although it's been a while, so I'll go ahead and do a refresher on the spread and what the placements are. There's going to be a card for the theme, a card for positive aspects for the month of December, a card for challenging aspects for the month of December, and then finally a higher self message as a whole. And so I love the cards that came through. They're really, I think, perfect for, like I said, winding down for the end of the year and gearing up for a new year. It's really just kind of focusing on, I feel like tying up loose ends in a way. So the very first card, which is the theme, is the Queen of Swords. And I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite cards. I can't pick a favorite because there's too many for me to pick, and I think it also depends on the season I'm in as well. But I've always loved the Queen of Swords. She is all about boundaries. She's all about learning how to decide how you're going to be treated. And if someone can't meet you there, they just don't get a seat at your table. So whenever the Queen of Swords comes up, I always like to start with a backstory. What's the beginning of the Queen of Swords? And usually the beginning of her journey is people pleasing. It's being the person who's always saying yes, who maybe tries to say no, but the no gets blurred, and whoever she's saying no to just kind of walks over her boundary like nothing. She draws a line in the sand and someone just hops over it like, okay, anyway, can you do what I wanted? And so it comes from a place initially of people pleasing, but then over time she gets her power back and she starts wielding her sword much more intently with the idea of the answer is no. And she starts getting firm and resolute. Anyone is in the Queen of Swords energy, people who benefited from them not having boundaries can suddenly call them cold, heartless. You know, you're too rigid. But the thing is, with the Queen of Swords, you have to be, because until you're firm, no one's going to take you seriously. And that's what the Queen of Swords is all about. She is in her power and she's finally executing it and deciding how she deserves to be treated and how she doesn't, and what she will accept and what she won't. So, and again, this is an intersex card. It isn't just for woman or man, but it is saying that the theme of December is holding your boundaries. And I feel like that's so relevant, especially for the holiday season, especially when we're seeing family members that might trigger us and, putting ourselves in situations that might take us backwards a little bit, especially in our healing journey. So I feel like for the month of December, the Queen of Swords is perfect. She's just like, stand your ground, know what you will and won't accept, draw the line. And if someone's willing to not listen and honor and respect you, then it's perfectly valid to pull away, distance yourself, and not engage with that person, or engage as less, engage a little bit less than you were before. But so that's our theme. Our theme is actually just boundary work, standing firmly on our no, standing firmly on what we believe in and how we believe we want to be treated, and not allowing others to come in and think they can just treat us however they want. So moving into the next card, which is the positive aspect for the month of December, and it is the Three of Wands. And so I absolutely love this. And I feel like this is definitely speaking to the winding down energy and then the gearing up for 2026, because the Three of Wands is all about being in movement. So what's working as a positive aspect for us for the month of December is that we are in transit. We are literally leaving some kind of phase of our life behind and walking into another phase of some sort. And so I'm not feeling resistance, which is good. It's just saying that you're honoring the fact that there is a part of your life that's ending, and there's a new aspect that's coming in, that's new, that's just beginning. And right now you're not really fully either or. You're not really fully closing the door, and you're not really fully opening the door for the new thing. You're right in the middle. And this is just encouraging us to just keep going. Like, we're right where we're supposed to be. That the doors that are closing are meant to. It's served us as long as it's meant to. So this is just encouraging us to keep moving. So again, this kind of to me feels like the ending of 2025 and moving into 2026. That's what I'm getting from this. It's like the door is slowly starting to close for this year. There's a new door coming for the new year with a lot of new opportunities. And so right now we're just kind of transitioning into that period. And it's positive. It's not, there's no resistance. There's no like holding on to the past. It's like, okay, we're moving forward. So the next card over is what is working as a challenge. The next card over is a challenging aspect for the month of December, and that is the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords, this one, and it makes a lot of sense being in the challenging aspect. It does speak to the fact that likely there is a area in your life where you're feeling like things are really messed up, like too messed up to be put back together. And I definitely feel like it's speaking to that Queen of Swords energy, like having to set boundaries, having to say no, having to be firm. That comes with backlash every single time. So something to be mindful of moving into December is your thoughts, because your thoughts right now likely are looking at the situation like, it's too messed up for me to even continue. It's too messed up for things to be okay again. I like to use the analogy of, it's like someone took a beautiful vase and smashed it into a million pieces. And you're looking at it going, it's broken. It can't be put back together. There's nothing that can be done to fix this. But that's not true. That's just the perception. That's just the feeling that you're getting, which is valid. Your feelings are valid. However, it's not reality. That's not what's really happening. The sword suit is all about perception and your thoughts and how you're seeing things and the narrative you're telling yourself. So I love to use, oh God, I always forget the name of it. So there's a Japanese tradition where they put pottery back together with gold, and it ends up being even more beautiful when it's put back together, even with all the cracks and everything, when it's sealed with gold. And so that's how you have to see the situation. Understand that nothing is so broken it can't be put back together again. You will overcome this. That's another big part of the Five of Swords, is you will overcome this, but you just have to really be mindful of your thoughts and not get caught up in the hopeless, there's nothing I can do, it's ruined feeling. Like that feeling is there, it's valid, but how can you bring yourself to the other side and say, okay, but I know it's not fully reality, and I know I will overcome this. I know I will get there. And so, especially when it comes to setting boundaries, there might be a part of you that's like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to say no. If I say no, they're going to get mad at me. There's going to be, like I said, backlash. And it's just learning how to still be in your no and facing the music, so to speak, but not letting it crumble you, and knowing that you will get to the other side and just remain strong and hold out. And then the final card is the King of Wands, which I absolutely love. Like, this to me definitely speaks to, like, yes, now, but moving more into January, New Year energy. The King of Wands is all about, there's no glass ceiling. Whatever it is that you desire, there's nothing standing in your way but maybe you. That's it. So the King of Wands is innovative, passionate, creative, a leader. And a big part of the King of Wands too is doing it your own way. So if there's some kind of a project or something that you felt compelled to go after, or a hobby, or something that you're just really, really passionate about that you've wanted to go after, but maybe you've just held off on. The King of Swords is like, the time is now. And not only is the time now, but you have everything it takes to get where you want to go. The sky is the limit, is literally what it's saying. But listen to your own intuition on how you move forward. Don't do the cookie cutter thing. A lot of the times when we try a new venture, we like to try and follow someone else's footsteps because it's like, well, they did it this way and they were successful, so I should do it that way too. And the thing about the King of Wands is that it's not about doing it the cookie cutter way. It's about doing it the way that's authentic to you and listening to your own intuition. So it's kind of like, instead of taking that trail that everyone else is taking, you take either the one that's less taken, or you go and you create your own trail. You literally just go, okay, you know what? I'm going to go off-roading. And that's exactly it. But you have to follow your intuition to do that. So yeah, I feel like that's more like speaking to the opportunities that are coming into the new year, and to be open to those things and to know that they're possible. And you have the creativity, you have the passion, you have the vision to do it. So, yeah, as a whole, I feel like for the month of December, a lot of it is just speaking to, again, boundaries, holding down your no, knowing what your line in the sand is and not letting anyone else cross it, knowing that it's okay to hold those boundaries. And even if like relationships or something seems really messed up because of those boundaries, know that you're going to overcome it, and know that nothing is so broken it can't be put back together. And so that may not be the relationship itself that's suffering from the boundary thing. It could just be yourself, knowing that you might feel broken inside because of having to set these boundaries, but you're still going to overcome it. And then I feel like Three of Wands and King of Wands are just speaking to that transit. We are gearing up for a brand new year. We're winding down to the end of 2025. And there's a lot of new opportunities waiting for us moving into the new year as we work through the ending. And again, learning how to really set boundaries, work through those thoughts that tell us things are too messed up, and know that it's going to be okay. And what's literally waiting for us is like a new chapter of our life, and a lot of creativity and opportunities as well. So I hope that this resonates. I hope that this gave you some guidance. It certainly was what I needed to hear this month. So that was really helpful. And yeah, thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you next month.
Thank you for joining me on another inspiring episode. Remember, your purpose is a unique and unfolding path. I hope these conversations have ignited a spark within you. Until next time, keep exploring, growing, and embracing the beautiful adventure of connecting with your purpose. Stay tuned for more meaningful conversations. If you enjoyed the episode today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for joining me on this journey.